A large law enforcement presence this afternoon in Pasco. Now at 6, learn how this standoff ended.
Also, big changes for pet owners in Yakima. Learn why it might mean, in some instances, you'll have to shell out more cash.
And a chilly Wednesday with partly cloudy skies, a bit of shower activity. Jason will tell you what's to come.
Now, KAPP KVEW local news at 6.
It's provoking a strong reaction online. What KAPP KVEW has learned about a video recorded during a middle school assembly in Kennewick. That's our top story this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Madeline Hagan.
And I'm Alyssa Warner. Some are calling it disgusting. Others say this was just for fun and laughter.
A video taken during an assembly at Desert Hills Middle School in Kennewick has launched a district-wide investigation. Tonight, in a letter, the superintendent calls the video highly concerning. The video shared to Facebook has gained hundreds of comments and thousands of views. A game during a school assembly shows staff and students on either sides of a plastic surface licking off whipped cream. Some commenters calling it, quote, sick and perverted or shocking and disgusting. One person saying the school needs to fire anyone who was involved. Others said the game was just for jokes and laughter. Another commenter saying people are just looking for reasons to get mad at schools and teachers. In the video, you can hear students' reactions to the game.
I'm gonna throw up. That is so gross. That looks so weird. It actually looks like this is a good idea.
A letter sent to Desert Hills Middle School parents says the assembly took place before spring break. Superintendent Dr. Tracy Pierce writing, quote, it does not reflect the high standards we hold for staff members. She went on to say the video's content is highly concerning and they will take action to address the situation. A student who wished to remain anonymous told KAPP KVEW a week prior to this assembly, students were told to put their name in a bucket to be chosen for an unknown activity. If not enough students entered, ASB students were told they would have to participate in the game. And again, we do know the district is investigating this situation and will take action, but they haven't yet said what will happen, if anything, to the staff involved.
A big police presence this afternoon in a Pasco neighborhood near Opal and 9th Avenue. That's just off of Court Street. The U.S. Marshals were serving warrants when a man who is allegedly wanted for failing to appear in court for a felony assault charge allegedly refused to leave his house. Captain Paramore with the Pasco Police Department says in this situation, they called in on-duty SWAT members to bolster police presence.
We're trying to implement and continue to use the time, distance, and shielding principles that we're being told to use. If people want to know why are there so many police officers are out here, it's because that's what's being required of us now, and it actually makes things safe.
Officials say, thankfully, this situation ended peacefully when the man surrendered to police. He'll be booked into the Benton County Jail. Captain Paramore says the standoff itself didn't last longer than an hour. No one was injured during that situation.
New at 6 o'clock, a Yakima man will serve federal prison time for allegedly stealing guns from a Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife office. The burglary happened in January 2022 when someone cut through a fence and then through a wall of the Yakima building. Authorities say 18 guns and a suppressor were stolen. A judge sentenced 31-year-old Alexander Scott Stevens to 7 years in federal prison on a conviction of a felon in possession of firearms. During the break-in investigation, authorities discovered a handprint left near a hole in the exterior wall and linked that print to Stevens.
We saw some of that here yesterday, though not as heavy. This is hail that fell yesterday afternoon in Edmonds in western Washington. It's an interesting sight considering we're in the second week of April. WashDOT tweeted this video. And closer to home, our region is seeing some very spring-like weather. You can see some shower activity on the radar, not nearly as much as we've been seeing earlier this week. And outside, clear skies in the Tri-Cities. Jason Valentine is tracking your first alert forecast.
Good Wednesday evening, everyone. Oh, we've made it to midweek. Hope you had a wonderful day today. And after a tumultuous start to our work week, Monday we had those heavy showers. Yesterday we had those heavy winds. Things settling down today, though we've seen a few little bits of shower activity, mostly sunny skies, and we're going to see mostly clear skies overnight. That does mean for another very chilly morning tomorrow. This morning we were barely around the freezing mark, so it looks like that will return. as we head into tomorrow, we could see a little bit of evening showers popping up, but still we're looking at mostly sunny skies, and that's going to continue into our weekend. And we are going to be slowly warming up into our weekend. We're still quite a bit below our average today, and we're going to be just slightly warmer tomorrow, maybe getting to around the 60-degree mark, to the mid to upper 50s for our areas, as opposed to mid to lower 50s we saw today. So a very chilly overnight period, but a pretty nice Thursday with maybe a shower activity a little bit here and there on the way. I'll get you ready for that in a sneak preview of your weekend, my full forecast. But for right now, I'm going to send it back to you.
Thanks, Jason. The state legislature faces another key deadline tonight with 11 days left in the session. Bills that were sent from the House to the Senate and from the Senate to the House have to be passed with a few exemptions. Legislation that would clear the way for duplexes and fourplexes in most Washington communities has passed the state Senate. It earlier passed the state House, where it will now return for lawmakers to vote on the Senate version of the bill. If enacted, the bill would override local zoning rules to prevent cities from requiring only single-family homes in neighborhoods. According to the State Department of Commerce, the state needs an estimated 1 million homes built in at least the next 20 years to keep up with population growth.
A bill headed to Governor Inslee's desk would allow paid family and medical leave for Uber and Lyft drivers. If signed, drivers would fall under the same paid family leave program that other workers in Washington get. Companies like Uber and Lyft would cover the drivers' premiums. According to the drivers' union, more than 30,000 Uber and Lyft drivers work in the state of Washington. The city of Yakima has made substantial changes to the animal control section of its municipal code that affect dog and cat owners alike.
Yeah, KAPP KVEW's Emily Goodell tells us code officials hope the new rules will make it easier on the people calling in complaints and the officers enforcing them.
2,471. That's the number of animal control cases the city of Yakima had in 2022.
Most of the year was one officer.
Answering anywhere from 10 to 30 calls a day.
Some of them are barking dog and no one answers the door.
Now it's a job for the partially commissioned community service officers at the Yakima Police Department, who now also handle parking enforcement.
They're in the process of trying to fill 5 positions, and I think most of those are filled by now.
More people to help, and now clearer rules for animal control.
It's just been kind of long overdue, and it really does allow for kind of some more efficient processes and clarity.
One of the big changes if you're a dog owner in the city of Yakima is the licensing fees. Instead of paying $15 for a year for a dog that's been spayed or neutered, you'll be paying $25. And if your dog isn't spayed or neutered, you'll end up paying $75 a year instead of the $30 it used to be. If your dogs aren't licensed, you'll get a warning.
If they were not to do that after some follow-up, then it's an infraction of $250.
They also removed the section on potentially dangerous dogs.
Basically said it's either dangerous or it's not.
And added new rules to help reduce the number of feral cats.
To trap, alter, and release cats, as well as care for feral cat population without claiming ownership.
Plus, increase the threshold for a barking dog complaint. A dog has to be barking for at least 15 minutes, and the complaint has to be called in by 2 people from separate households or by 1 person who has a recording of the behavior.
We're hoping that this new ordinance really helps clarify it for community members and what needs to be in place there improved before the city can take any action.
In Yakima, Emily Goodell, KAPP KVEW, Local News.
Now, there is a discounted price on licensing if you buy a license for 3 years instead of just 1.
A reminder tonight, it's your chance to weigh in on plans to rebuild a power line in Richland. Bonneville Power Administration says adding an extra circuit to the Richland-Stevens line should help keep the lights on, especially at high demand times in extremely hot and extremely cold weather. The project would impact a lot of homes and businesses, and it would cost millions. You can learn more about the proposal and share your thoughts with BPA tonight at the Richland Library. That event is going on until 8 p.m. He survived a gunman's attack in Walla Walla and made an incredible comeback. Now special honors at the state capitol for Washington State Trooper Dean Atkinson Jr. That's coming up.
Plus, combating an invasive pest. New information tonight about efforts to eradicate Japanese beetles in eastern Washington.
And a call for help from the Red Cross, how you can help prevent deadly fires in eastern Washington. You're watching KAPP KVEW Local News at 6.
At Vapiano, we invite you to slow down, enjoy the journey. Make a reservation today. Taste wine where it's created. Sample a variety of wines from Sauvignon Blanc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, and make it a day to remember. Vapiano Estates, Walla Walla.
Spring Fever fun has arrived at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Sizzle your way to over $7 grand in cash and free play with 30,000 Spring Fever hot seats every Friday and Saturday. Plus surprise gifts during spring cleaning, swipe and win. Win up to $2,000 cash with our quick cash giveaway and $10,000 bingo April 23rd. With so many ways to win, any day can be yours. Wild Horse Resort and Casino, Pendleton, Oregon. More winners, more often.
Whether you're looking for your next houseplant, getting those spring flowers in the ground, or planting your dream garden landscape, Queensgate Gardens is the place to go. Queensgate Gardens in Richland. Let's grow together.
Special report.
Spectrum just launched Spectrum One, where Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and unlimited mobile come together to keep you seamlessly connected wherever you are!
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and one free line of unlimited mobile with no contract. Call 1-833-743-4999.
The Coopers here just got Spectrum One. Why did you switch?
With Spectrum One, we get a super fast, reliable connection. Look, with Spectrum Internet, I can stream Spectrum News across all our devices.
And the advanced Wi-Fi has enhanced security and privacy features that automatically block online threats, keeping our family and devices safe and secure.
How reliable is Spectrum Mobile?
It's a super reliable service coast to coast.
And it includes nationwide 5G.
Switch to Spectrum One and get 300 megabit internet for $49.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi and one free line of unlimited mobile with talk, text, and data. Call 1-833-743-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
When times are hardest, that's when community matters most. When supply was low, dealers raised prices above MSRP. McCurley didn't. Because looking after one another is what community does. That's what makes home, home.
Find your way home in a new Subaru from McCurley Subaru.
Since 1968, Sundown M Ranch has helped over 200,000 patients and families recover from the effects of substance use disorders.
I was ashamed, humiliated, and not sure if I could be helped, but I listened and found a completely different way to live by spending time at Sundown.
I did not believe there was a way out of the dark hole my life had become. Sundown M Ranch provided a foundation for me to find a new way to live.
Sundown M Ranch. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
How'd you sleep last night?
Terrible.
Well, this will help you wake up.
Thanks, babe.
So what are we gonna do today?
Our show.
Oh, yeah.
From co-stars in life to co-hosts on live.
Weekday mornings at 9, starting Monday on KAPP KVEW.
Portion of KAPP KVEW sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
The Washington State Department of Agriculture is treating properties in Grandview, Sunnyside, and Mabton for Japanese beetles over the next 2 weeks. The invasive pests wreak havoc on crops. They went from just a handful in 2020 to over 23,000 in 2022. The adults don't show up until around mid-June, but officials are hoping that using pesticides to kill larvae in affected residential and commercial properties across the Lower Valley will help reduce the population. If you do see one, you can report it to the WSDA.
We really truly couldn't have done it without that. And we've already found another population of the beetles in Wapato because of somebody's community report.
You can see a map of the affected areas and see if you might need to consider treating your property for Japanese beetles on the WSDA website.
Jefferson Park in Walla Walla is seeing some new fixtures supported by recent grants. Volunteers just installed new garden beds at the park right behind the Walla Walla Senior Center. They say pretty flowers aren't the goal for these garden beds, but to provide healthy food and new friendships for seniors and nearby neighbors. Brian Berry with the Walla Walla Senior Center says there are more than 120 people who eat lunch at the center every day, and they're looking forward to sourcing their own food.
we have to have a nutritionist approve our menus, and we go through a lot of effort to make sure that we're providing healthy options. But having healthy options that we can grow here on site is really exciting as well.
This endeavor is being led by the Blue Zones Project in Walla Walla Valley. It's Walla Walla's Sustainable Living Center, the Pacific Power Foundation, and many more organizations. The grand opening of these 3 new garden beds at the center of Jefferson Park in Walla Walla will be in June.
Now, KAPP KVEW First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Wednesday, everyone. Again, hope you had a wonderful day today. A very chilly Wednesday, especially this morning, and our temperature is still well below our average, though we are going to slowly warm up into the weekend. Small showers still possible tonight, but in our overnight period, things should settle down quite nicely, and then maybe some small showers as we get to tomorrow. I'll get to that in the future cast. So as we're moving into the evening hours, we still could see just a bit of shower activity along the Blues. They've seen the most, at least, opportunity of showers today. But those winds that we saw yesterday, they have very much settled down. Our overnight period should be pretty settled into tomorrow morning, but as we get to the middle of our afternoon to the evening hours, we could see just little bits of shower activity showing up. They'll be very quick if they do show up, and then they're just going to move along as we get into early on Friday. And Friday looks to be a very nice day, mostly sunny skies. It should be the jewel of the weekend as we see a little bit of cloud coverage popping up as we get to Saturday and Sunday. So our temperature trend, we remain about 10 degrees below our average today, and then we're just going to be slowly getting close to our average and then above it as we get to our weekend. And for the past 3 weeks, this is what we've seen. Below average temperatures for our work week, and then a bit warmer for our weekend, and then it cools right back down as we get into our next work week, and that is certainly going to be happening as we head into next week. So looking forward to getting out of this pattern, but it certainly is what it is. So winds definitely slower than what we saw yesterday. 20 to 30 mile per hour winds yesterday afternoon. They slowed down quite quickly overnight into today, and we're just looking at maybe some breezy conditions at times through our weekend. We'll see a little bit of a bump as we head into our next work week, but still, folks, we are looking at not too much wind going on for at least the week ahead. So, as I said, we are about 10 degrees below our average. That is true for Yakima, 9 degrees below. Even our overnight is behind that matter as well. So, chilly conditions to continue, though slightly warmer tomorrow. For the Tri-Cities, exactly 10 degrees below our average and 4 degrees, but again, we're chilly overnight because we don't have too much cloud coverage to hold in whatever heat we have from the day. So tax day, just 6 days away, a week from yesterday. The NFL draft right here on KAPP KVEW ABC is 2 weeks from tomorrow. And we're a little over a month away from Mother's Day. Please do not forget Mom. Never forget Mom. So as we head into our overnight period, we're going to be mostly clear. Overnight lows right around that freezing mark, maybe a little cooler in Toppenish, but do get ready for a very brisk morning tomorrow. As we head into our Thursday, we're going to see quite a bit of sunshine, but still could see those especially late afternoon, early evening shower activity in the mid-Columbia. So just keep an eye out for a spritz or two, mid to upper 50s, lower 60s across the board. So for our 7-day forecast, again, for the week ahead, we have more sunshine than not. We're going to warm up for our weekend in the Tri-Cities, possibly back to the 70s on Sunday, back to the 60s tomorrow. Overnight lows well above the freezing level, though again, we do expect to see possibly a little bit of shower activity for the week ahead, but still more sunshine than not. In the Yakima Valley, we're in the upper 50s tomorrow, Friday, and back to the 60s Saturday through Monday, and then those cooler temperatures rear their ugly heads yet again next week. So folks, as we head into our overnight period, it is going to be calm. We could see a few more little showerlets, especially along the Blue Mountain region tonight. But for your Thursday, get ready for more sunshine and maybe a small shower or two in the middle of your afternoon.
I bet if you keep telling me things that you like, I probably like them too.
I'm a slow down to watch the car crash kind of guy. I like where this is headed.
This should be good.
With friends, there are no secrets.
Hurricane Gloria didn't break the porch swing, Monica did.
Chandler, one time wore my underwear to work.
The best way to end your day. Friends, tonight at 11:05 on KAPP KVEW.
Next, DT, our sweet at-home exclusive with Amanda Klutz and 3-year-old son Elvis, their new loving tribute to Nick Cordero. Next, DT.
Tonight at 7 on KAPP.
Homeowners, Washington is moving to renewable power. Consider an investment in green energy. Rooftop solar with Solar Power Northwest, a true one-stop shop. Solar Power Northwest, a better way to solar.
Crushed by a 7-ton snowcat, Jeremy Renner's first extra interview about cheating death and using his superhero powers to change lives.
I want to make actionability and thoughtfulness of others cool.
Next extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on KAPP.
You can prepare as much as possible, but whatever you imagine, something else will happen. Patty and I have been together since 1984. Patty got diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2012. Having a caregiver helps with still being in a relationship. There's all sorts of expenses. Renting the bed and the tilt and space wheelchair. The money's going to be there, just like health insurance, and hopefully you don't ever have to use it. Wall Cares will help you take care of yourself.
Your roof protects your home and family every day. Shouldn't it be the best roof possible? With Air Roofing, a family-owned business in Prosser, you'll see why our customer reviews speak for themselves. No job too small, big enough to take care of your roofing needs. Air Roofing, a company built on quality and reputation.
At the Blue Mountain Station Cooperative in Dayton, Washington, we offer you the Pacific Northwest's finest local products. Fresh baked goods, locally grown produce, artisan cheese, fresh roasted coffee, wine, honey, and so much more. We invite you to explore Dayton today.
Okay, I think we're all aware that most cell companies only give you the lowest price when you sign up for multiple lines.
What? Multiple lines?
Hello? Yeah, one sec. But US Cellular gives you just one line for $29.99 with unlimited data.
Just one line with unlimited data.
So you don't have to get more lines than you need.
No, you hang up.
Are you even listening, guy who never looks up from his phone?
Oh, not for me, I just say it.
Okay, so no, you're not listening.
Get one line for $29.99, plus every plan is price protected. US Cellular, built for us.
Coming up tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest, we'll hear from employees of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Walla Walla District as they hold an awareness walk for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And Jason will have your first alert weather forecast.
Well, the Red Cross needs volunteers to participate in its Sound the Alarm event later this month. We know smoke alarms can save lives. This event aims to install 250 free smoke alarms for families in the Yakima region. Sound the Alarm takes place Saturday, April 22nd from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Volunteers will receive training at Barge Lincoln Elementary School before conducting 20-minute home visits to install smoke alarms. To participate or sign up for free smoke alarm installation, you can register at redcross.org/NW
Washington State Patrol Trooper Dean Atkinson Jr., the Walla Walla-based trooper who was shot in the face and the hand last year during a traffic stop, has now been honored in Olympia. Representative Mark Clicker and the House of Representatives honored Atkinson for his exemplary service and bravery in the line of fire. Despite being shot, Atkinson drove himself to the hospital. He's still recovering. The trooper stood along with his fellow law enforcement officers to receive the framed resolution. He says he hopes to get back to work soon. Maddie, I know we're hoping that for him as well.
Absolutely. So good to see the follow-ups to the story that came out of last year.
Amazing to see him on his feet in the Capitol.
Yes, so thankful for that. Well, we have a lot more news to share with you on our mobile app. You can use the camera on your smartphone to scan this QR code. It's also at the bottom of your screen throughout the shows. The code will take you right to our app for news and weather on demand. It's free to download and there's no subscription fee. We'll be right back after the break.
Portion of KAPP sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
With K2 Vision RLE, you can throw away your distance and reading glasses. Plus, you'll never develop a cataract. Schedule a free Zoom consultation with us today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $2,100 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
When it comes to supplying the farm, come to Northwest Farm Supply. Your hometown store has a wide selection of everything egg-related. Plus, we're the largest Purina dealer in Hermiston. Products you trust from people who care. Northwest Farm Supply in Prosser, Hermiston, and Othello.
Whether you're looking for your next houseplant, getting those spring flowers in the ground, or planting your dream garden landscape, Queensgate Gardens is the place to go. Queensgate Gardens in Richland. Let's grow together.
Shelter. Out here, it's the most important thing. But the good thing is, my Ford F-150 provides enough power to keep working.
Get a great deal on an F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
Dear 2030, we look forward to seeing you. After our 160-point quality assurance inspection, we'll be Toyota certified used vehicles with 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranties. Not to honk our own horns, but the best new cars make the best used cars. Yours, Toyota.
Get 4.99% APR for up to 60 months on a Toyota certified used Camry, Corolla, or RAV4. Find yours at toyotacertified.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Come shop the largest selection of RVs in the Tri-Cities at Appleway RV. Save big on Class A's, Class C's, travel trailers, toy haulers, and fifth wheels. Shop America's top brands, Rockwood, Tiffin, Newmar, Dynamax, and more, with a huge selection of pre-owned RVs. Plus, get maximum value for your trade, all with no payments for 90 days. Come shop the clearance event at Appleway RV Pasco.
Tomorrow on GMA, the one and only Denzel Washington, plus an exclusive Celine Dion announcement. What will it be? And the amazing deals and steals you've been waiting for, all $20 and under.
So good. So good.
Tomorrow only on ABC's Good Morning America.
Watch Thursday at 9 on ABC and KVEW, sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health, providing compassionate, high-quality care for over 75 years.
That sound. Wolves. Boy, they sound hungry.
Load up, wolves!
Good thing this Ford Explorer has Sync 3 technology. Keeps them entertained on the way to dinner.
Get a great deal on an Explorer, only at your local Ford dealer.
With K2 Vision RLE, you can throw away your distance and reading glasses. Plus, you'll never develop a cataract. Schedule a free Zoom consultation with us today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
Well, with trees starting to leaf out and flowers starting to bloom, the city of Pasco is planning to bring more shade to Kurtzman Park with their Arbor Day celebration. 10 trees were planted at the park today by the Boys and Girls Club of Benton and Franklin counties. Officials say they have plans for even more in the community.
Address things like creating policies to create greener environments, working with cities, working to change policy that are more green friendly, and trying to reduce issues that are affecting our climate.
Pasco City leaders want to give some shade to those who need it during the hot seasons. Not only is today Washington's Arbor Day, the month of April is also Earth Month. And Maddie, we were just talking about our gardens, pollinators this year, wildflowers in the backyard.
Yes. Low maintenance.
Yes.
Just spread the seed, let it do its thing. That's the best way to go, I think, and just let it grow wild, right?
There
wild for a reason.
The irrigation is already on.
Yes,
like
it'll
will get watered. I don't have to think about it.
We just need a little bit of heat now, too.
Yes.
That would help.
Go along with that sunshine we enjoyed today.
Definitely. All right, well, taking aim at a rough roadway, the problem that the Terminator decided to fix himself.
Plus, standing up for survivors of traumatic crimes. The event today showing community support in Walla Walla.
And a deadly accident at a Northwest mine. The news at 6:30 starts right now.
Now, KAPP local news at 6:30.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Walla Walla District hosted an employee awareness walk on Wednesday afternoon in honor of Sexual Assault Awareness Month. The march was around the Walla Walla District headquarters building.
KAPP Riley Fitzgerald says this is the first march that they've done for sexual assault awareness, but it probably won't be the last.
I think we enjoy just getting together and showing that we support Sexual Awareness and Prevention Month, and that we as a group all can get together, go outside, enjoy a little bit of the fresh air, and wear the teal color to say that we, we're support for the prevention of sexual assault and sexual harassment.
The goal of the march is to show commitment to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Sexual Harassment and Prevention Program. Lieutenant Commander Kingslack with the Walla Walla District says these kind of events motivate participants to not tolerate sexual assault and harassment.
It also encourages participation amongst our employees to say that they are not tolerant of sexual assault and harassment in the workplace.
Lieutenant Commander Kingslack says it's especially important to address this as a workplace and to come together for a march like this. She says sexual assault or harassment not only degrades a victim's performance, but it can also affect the whole team.
There's this terrible cloud over that unit and over that organization that exists until, for a long time until that situation has been resolved. And the problem with that is that for that victim, it never really is resolved. At least from people I know and experiences I've seen, that lives with them for the rest of their lives.
According to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, 81% of women and 43% of men reported experiencing some form of sexual harassment or assault in their lifetime. That's why they're bringing it to the attention of all of the employees.
I'm always willing to and want to support in efforts like this where we are more vocal and we, show our awareness and support for things like this. As a leader and commander, I hope that, by myself participating in that, it encourages other people to also participate.
Lieutenant Commander Kingslack says the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Walla Walla District has more events throughout the month for just this purpose. In Walla Walla, Riley Fitzgerald, KAPP Local News.
And to report sexual harassment or assault, you can call the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-4673 to be connected with a trained member of a sexual assault service provider.
And turning to the weather, the chance for more rain in our region, but our weekend looks like it'll hopefully be a little warmer. A lovely look over Toppenish this evening over our Skycam network this evening. Jason Valentine is tracking your first alert forecast.
Good Wednesday evening, everyone. We've made it to midweek. Hope you had a wonderful day today. And after a tumultuous start to our work week, Monday we had those heavy showers. Yesterday we had those heavy winds. Things settling down today, though we've seen a few little bits of shower activity, mostly sunny skies, and we're going to see mostly clear skies overnight. That does mean for another very chilly morning tomorrow. This morning we were barely around the freezing mark, so it looks like that will return. As we head into tomorrow, we could see a little bit of evening showers popping up, but still we're looking at mostly sunny skies, and that's going to continue into our weekend. And we are going to be slowly warming up into our weekend. We're still quite a bit below our average today, and we're going to be just slightly warmer tomorrow, maybe getting to around the 60-degree mark to the mid to upper 50s for our areas, as opposed to mid to lower 50s we saw today. So a very chilly overnight period, but a pretty nice Thursday with maybe a shower activity a little bit here and there on the way. I'll get you ready for that in a sneak preview of your weekend, my full forecast. But for right now, I'm going to send it back to you.
A proposal from the Biden administration is generating some controversy. The federal government is now looking at potentially cutting the amount of water that California, Arizona, and Nevada can take from the Colorado River. Officials say after years of drought and increasing demand, it's time to take drastic action.
We cannot kick the can on finding solutions, and the women and men responsible for managing the system for the benefit of 40 million Americans and countless ecosystems.
50 years down the road, unless we come up with solutions, farming won't be here. No one can produce it like the Colorado River can for food. Nowhere on earth is it done like that.
We have seen an unusually wet and snowy winter for California that has helped replenish some of their water supplies, but experts warn it won't be enough to fully repair the damage. Cutting the water allotment is basically still at the idea stage right now. An actual plan is expected later this year.
A deadly accident at a North Idaho mine. It happened Tuesday near Wallace, Idaho. Investigators went to the mine last night in an attempt to figure out exactly how an employee was killed on the job. The owners of the mine, America's Gold and Silver, say the miner died when struck by falling ground. The last time someone died in the Galena mine was in 2010 when a miner was crushed by loose material while using a scaling bar to remove rock. In that case, it was determined that management policies, procedures, and controls led to that death. We're still waiting to learn the miner's identity in this most recent accident.
A coffee shop will move away from its location in downtown Portland because of the nature of the environment. Staff at KVEW Coffee Roasters say they've tried to compensate for safety risks at that location. That includes offering de-escalation training and even hazard pay for employees. Staff have also handed out free coffee and cigarettes to try to calm down agitated people who walk in off the street. Another business owner sounded concerns about the city environment as well.
All our locations suffer through vandalism, break-in, theft, but this is obviously the worst of all of them, and downtown is by far and away, it's the most exacerbated down here.
There's trials and tribulations to every new spot that I've had. I have not found a spot in Portland that is the safe spot for sure.
Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler's team responded with a statement saying in part that it's working to increase staffing within the Portland Police Bureau, as well as Multnomah County leaders, calling on them to address behavioral health challenges together.
The trial of an Idaho woman accused of killing her 2 children continued today in Boise. Tuesday, the lead detective in the case, Ray Hermosillo, took the stand. He's the officer who located the bodies of Vallo's 2 children found buried in a yard that belongs to Vallo's husband, Chad Daybell. Prosecutors suggested a possible motive and showed graphic photos and described a complicated plot to cast out evil spirits. During the hearing, Vallo requested to be dismissed from the courtroom due to impending graphic evidence that will be shown at trial. The judge denied her request.
It's been 4 hard years. We've gone through a lot. We've seen some stuff we wish we could unsee.
Vallo and Daybell also face charges in the death of Daybell's previous wife. The prosecutors argue the 3 were killed because they stood in the way of the couple's relationship. The defense painted a picture of Vallo as a kind and loving mother who happened to have a particular interest in religion and prophecies involving the end of the world. Vallo and Daybell pleaded not guilty, and Daybell faces a separate trial.
Upgrading the entire nation's electrical grid is part of the Biden administration's efforts to go green and to encourage more people to drive electric cars. Today, we got our first glimpse of new proposals to get more people buying electric cars and trucks. The New York Times called the proposed rules as significant as Henry Ford's first test drive. ABC's M. Wynn has the details.
The goal of the new rules is to ensure that 54% of new cars sold in the U.S. by 2030 are electric. The auto industry has already pledged to make electric vehicles 50% of new car sales by that same year. But they have a long way to go. Less than 6% of vehicles sold last year in the U.S. were electric. Experts say in the end, this is just a proposal by the Biden administration, not necessarily a requirement.
They are assumptions built into models rather than hard requirements. But CAFE is designed to be a bit of an elastic band, and it's designed purposefully to stretch to the consumer demands. If consumers prefer larger cars, then the CAFE targets and the fuel efficiency targets come down accordingly.
Convincing consumers won't be easy. A new poll shows only 4 in 10 Americans are even considering an electric car as their next vehicle. Many are turned off by the sticker price. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Now, there are tax incentives to try to lower that sticker price, but new rules that kick in next week require that an electric vehicle battery be at least 50% made in North America, and at least 40% of the critical minerals in that battery come from the United States or a country that we have a free trade agreement with.
While a growing drug trend tearing apart lives all across the country. The trend is so concerning, the White House now sounding the alarm that's still to come.
Also, Arnold takes action. The well-known action star flexes his muscles, squaring off with a pothole.
And we might see some more showers. Jason Valentine will have your first alert forecast. That's still to come on KAPP Local News at 6:30.
Portion of KAPP KVEW sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with a limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again.
With the rain and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Call today to receive 0% financing on approved credit.
So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
With K2 Vision RLE, you can throw away your distance and reading glasses. Plus, you'll never develop a cataract. Schedule a free Zoom consultation with us today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
This is a town called Basic. It's pretty hard to stand out around here. But if you pull up in a 2023 Nissan Rogue, you'll stand out before your feet even hit the pavement.
Can you make mine look like that?
Anything but basic. The 2023 Nissan Rogue. Get a low $399 per month lease on Rogue or get 0% financing for 36 months on select models.
You need new replacement windows, but you're just not sure if they're in the budget this year, right? I'm Brian Gary here with Ted Coons from Renewal by Anderson, and he's here to talk about how to make window replacement more affordable.
Well, first, Brian, you don't have to do them all. You could just replace your worst windows first. Or another way to make them affordable is to change the style of window. For example, you could do a gliding window instead of a casement. We have a lot of ways to make window projects really affordable.
Compared to other window companies, you have a completely different business model.
Yeah, with other companies, there's just too many people involved in the process. There's the manufacturer, the seller, and then the installer, and then the customer. And if you call with a problem, that's when they say, oh, well, we're the manufacturer. You have to call the installer for that problem, or vice versa. We're the full-service replacement window division of Anderson. With us, there's no passing the buck. At Renewal by Anderson, we sell, build, install, and warrant our windows and patio doors. So if there's ever an issue, we take full responsibility for it.
Why don't you sell vinyl windows?
Well, a lot of vinyl products just don't hold up well in the elements. You know, like a vinyl fence. When it's first installed, it looks great, but with expansion and contraction, it discolors and cracks. For that same reason, a lot of vinyl windows just won't last. Our window material is a composite that combines the best of vinyl and wood. Well, Fibrex is low maintenance like vinyl, but stronger than vinyl. And it's beautiful like wood, but doesn't require the upkeep of wood.
This month, Renewal by Anderson is offering a super deal on windows and patio doors. Buy one window or patio door and get the next one 30% off. And we have great financing available. Before April 30th, buy one window or patio door and get the next one 30% off. Plus, take advantage of our great financing options. For a free appointment, call 509-497-5400.
We have a health alert tonight. The White House has declared a so-called zombie drug an emerging threat to the United States. It's the first time in history that a substance has been declared an emerging threat. This refers to fentanyl mixed with xylazine, which is an animal tranquilizer, also called tranq. Officials are calling the combination facts for fentanyl adulterated xylazine. But the New York Times reports many people call the combination a zombie drug because the xylazine causes ulcers and rotting skin, and it can cause a blackout that lasts for hours. It's also particularly dangerous because overdose reversal medications like Narcan don't work on this combination drug. The emerging threat declaration means that the Biden administration has 90 days to coordinate a nationwide response, and it opens up funding options to try and find solutions.
The CDC is sounding concerns over the Marburg virus, which is similar to Ebola. It's only shown up in 2 African nations, Equatorial Guinea and Tanzania. It has not shown up in the U.S. so far, and the current risk remains low. But the CDC is warning doctors to look out for symptoms. It spreads through contact with blood and bodily fluids or from fluids from an infected animal.
People can get on airplanes, people can travel. It's very easy to get from one part of the world to another today.
Doctors with the Cleveland Clinic say the illness doesn't become contagious until symptoms appear. They can include things like fever, headache, muscle and joint pain, fatigue, loss of appetite, gastrointestinal issues, and unexplained bleeding.
This week, dispatchers across the nation are being celebrated for their work. It's all a part of National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, so we stopped by CCOM for a behind-the-scenes look at operations there. Supervisor Amy Fournier-Plant says they truly hear it all when it comes to 911 calls. A lot of calls coming from people experiencing the worst situation imaginable, and they don't always know the outcome. Then there's calls like this one when Amy helped deliver a baby that make it all worth it.
Mom woke up and was like, oh no, it's happening right now. And yeah, no, it was great. I got to hear baby's first cry and kind of walk Dad through it, who was very nervous. But yeah, that was hands down best call ever. You get something like that, just one thing, it's all it takes, and you're just floating on a cloud of serotonin. It's very nice.
Amy says they're grateful to be recognized for the work they do. Many local agencies like the Benton County Sheriff's Office have stopped by to show their appreciation, treats of course included.
Well, the Terminator has terminated a pothole. Check this out. In a Twitter post, actor Arnold Schwarzenegger writes the pothole had become a problem for cyclists and cars in his neighborhood. The video shows a driver thanking the actor for his help, but it's unclear if the former California governor checked with the city before filling in that pothole. The Department of Public Works says it was actually a service trench, and a California utility has a permit to work in that area through next month.
Now, KAPP KVEW First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Wednesday, everyone. Again, hope you had a wonderful day today. A very chilly Wednesday, especially this morning, and our temperature is still well below our average, though we are going to slowly warm up into the weekend. Small showers still possible tonight, but in our overnight period, things should settle down quite nicely, and then maybe some small showers as we get to tomorrow. I'll get to that in the future cast. So as we're moving into the evening hours, we still could see just a bit of shower activity along the Blues. They've seen the most, least opportunity of showers today. But those winds that we saw yesterday, they have very much settled down. Our overnight period should be pretty settled into tomorrow morning, but as we get to the middle of our afternoon to the evening hours, we could see just little bits of shower activity showing up. They'll be very quick if they do show up, and then they're just going to move along as we get into early on Friday. And Friday looks to be a very nice day, mostly sunny skies. It should be the jewel of the weekend as we see a little bit of cloud coverage popping up as we get to Saturday and Sunday. So our temperature trend, we remain about 10 degrees below our average today, and then we're just going to be slowly getting close to our average and then above it as we get to our weekend. And for the past 3 weeks, this is what we've seen. Below average temperatures for our work week, and then a bit warmer for our weekend, and then it cools right back down as we get into our next work week, and that is certainly going to be happening as we head into next week. So looking forward to getting out of this pattern, but it certainly is what it is. So winds definitely slower than what we saw yesterday. 20 to 30 mile per hour winds yesterday afternoon. They slowed down quite quickly overnight into today, and we're just looking at maybe some breezy conditions at times through our weekend. We'll see a little bit of a bump as we head into our next work week, but still, folks, we are looking at not too much wind going on for at least the week ahead. So as I said, we are about 10 degrees below our average. That is true for Yakima, 9 degrees below. Even our overnight is behind that matter as well. So chilly conditions to continue, though slightly warmer tomorrow. For the Tri-Cities, exactly 10 degrees below our average and 4 degrees, but again, we're chilly overnight because we don't have too much cloud coverage to hold in whatever heat we have from the day. So tax day, just 6 days away, a week from yesterday. The NFL draft right here on KAPP KVEW ABC is 2 weeks from tomorrow, and we're a little over a month away from Mother's Day. Please do not forget Mom. Never forget Mom. So as we head into our overnight period, we're going to be mostly clear. Overnight lows right around that freezing mark, maybe a little cooler in Toppenish, but do get ready for a very brisk morning tomorrow. As we head into our Thursday, we're going to see quite a bit of sunshine, but still could see those especially late afternoon, early evening shower activity in the mid-Columbia. So just keep an eye out for a spritz or two, mid to upper 50s, lower 60s across the board. So for our 7-day forecast, again, for the week ahead, we have more sunshine than not. We're going to warm up for our weekend, the Tri-Cities, possibly back to the 70s on Sunday, back to the 60s tomorrow. Overnight lows well above the freezing level, though again, we do expect to see possibly a little bit of shower activity for the week ahead, but still more sunshine than not. In the Yakima Valley, we're in the upper 50s tomorrow, Friday, and back to the 60s Saturday through Monday, and then those cooler temperatures rear their ugly heads yet again next week. So folks, as we head into our overnight period, it is going to be calm. We could see a few more little showerlets, especially along the Blue Mountain region tonight. But for your Thursday, get ready for more sunshine and maybe a small shower or two in the middle of your afternoon.
All right, thanks, Jason. A well-known news service decides to leave Twitter. The reason why, next.
And a former Tri-City Americans hockey player is moving on up. That's next on KAPP KVEW Local News at 6:30.
Hi, I'm Stan. Welcome to my Stan Talk. My theory, it's called triple play because you can have fun on land, sea, and air. On land, bowling, XD Dark Ride, and others. At sea, all the slides and pools in Raptor Reef Indoor Water Park. In air, the ropes course, Nebula Drop Tower, and new zip ride. Or maybe the owner just liked triple cheeseburgers. Thanks, everyone!
Triple Play has fun for everyone, including the brand new zipline ride. And it's all attached to a cozy hotel.
Mildly entertaining. I will take that.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $2,100 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Shelter. Out here, it's the most important thing. But the good thing is, my Ford F-150 provides enough power to keep working.
Get a great deal on an F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
Okay, I think we're all aware that most cell companies only give you the lowest price when you sign up for multiple lines.
What? Multiple lines?
Hello? Yeah, one sec. But US Cellular gives you just one line for $29.99 with unlimited data.
Just one line with unlimited data.
So you don't have to get more lines than you need.
No, you hang up.
Are you even listening, guy who never looks up from his phone?
Oh, not for me, I just say it.
Okay, so no, you're not listening.
Get one line for $29.99, plus every plan is price protected. US Cellular, built for us.
Come shop the largest selection of RVs in the Tri-Cities at Appleway RV. Save big on Class A's, Class C's, travel trailers, toy haulers, and fifth wheels. Shop America's top brands, Rockwood, Tiffin, Newmar, Dynamax, and more. With a huge selection of pre-owned RVs. Plus, get maximum value for your trade. All with no payments for 90 days. Come shop the clearance event at Appleway RV Pasco.
It's spring in the Pacific Northwest, and that means lakes, rivers, fishing, hiking, and so much more. But each spring, weather can change fast. And to stay safe when you're outdoors, you need a forecast you can trust. At KAPP KVEW First Alert Weather, our advanced technology, along with our knowledge of how to use it, gives us a big advantage in keeping you informed. And when you're informed, I know that I'm doing my job.
We're on air, online, and on the go with our mobile app. First Alert Weather from KAPP KVEW Local News, helping keep you and your family safe.
That sound. Wolves. Boy, they sound hungry.
Load up, wolves!
Good thing this Ford Explorer has Sync 3 technology. Keeps them entertained on the way to dinner.
Get a great deal on an Explorer, only at your local Ford dealer.
This newscast sponsored by the Working Family Tax Credit.
National Public Radio, better known as NPR, has decided to quit Twitter. It's said to be the first major news organization to go silent on the social media platform. That after Twitter labeled NPR as, quote, state-affiliated media. That label is typically attached to foreign propaganda outlets. Twitter later changed the label to, quote, government-funded media. NPR operates as a nonprofit that's supported by funding from its audience. NPR says it receives less than 1% of its $300 million yearly budget from the federally funded Corporation for Public Broadcasting. It says the label undermines its credibility. Twitter also got some backlash for applying a similar label to the BBC, which primarily operates with public funding.
In sports, former Tri-City Americans forward Jalen Leupin is moving up to the American League Hockey affiliate team for the Chicago Blackhawks, the Rockford Ice Hogs. The Blackhawks drafted Leupin in 2021 and signed him to a 3-year contract in 2022. During his time with the Ams, he scored 39 points in 38 games. 6 of his 18 goals in the 2022-23 season were game winners. The Rockford Ice Hogs are ranked 5th in the AHL Central Division. They have 3 games left in the regular season schedule and will face the Grand Rapids Griffins on Friday. You're watching KAPP KVEW Local News at 6:30. We're back with a final check of your forecast when we return.
What's better than super fresh fruits and vegetables?
Yep, you've got it. Super fresh fruits and vegetables on sale.
Swing into Super One Foods this Thursday and save big during our 12-hour produce sale. Dole bananas just 48 cents a pound. Fresh broccoli crowns, 98 cents a pound. And sweet juicy cantaloupe, 48 cents a pound.
Super One Foods 12-hour produce sale this Thursday only. Hey, it's better than fresh.
The last thing you want people thinking about when they're in their golden years is money. We have a new family member living with us, which is my mother-in-law, Kathleen. She has had MS as my husband since 6. We have our caregivers that come into the home and help out with her. She gets showers every day. Walk Cares is a really unique program. As you get older, you're still cared for and you're still valuable. It's just great to know that if needed, Walk Cares will be there for them.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with the product so good, you'll never have to replace it again. All roofs come with the limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again.
With the rain and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Call today to receive 0% financing on approved credit.
So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
What is a leader? Someone who has backbone, resilience, determination, to put a stake in the ground and get their hands a little dirty. Arrow Construction Supply has been the Northwest's leading provider of asphalt, concrete, and erosion control industries. From homeowner do-it-yourself to large commercial projects, we have everything for sale or rent to get the job done. Your locally owned and operated Arrow Construction Supply, leading the way and hitting our mark for 30 years.
With K2 Vision RLE, you can throw away your distance and reading glasses. Plus, you'll never develop a cataract. Schedule a free Zoom consultation with us today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
Did you know the most common mosquito in our area can travel 5 to 8 miles? Here at Benton County Mosquito Control, our objective is to provide effective mosquito control for your home, neighborhood, and community. Our friendly mosquito control technicians use mosquito population monitoring, educational programming, and a variety of field techniques to reduce mosquitoes in your area. Reduce areas of standing water around your home to help control mosquitoes. For more help, give us a call or visit us online at www.mosquitocontrol.org. Benton County Mosquito Control, where your comfort and health become a priority.
Next, DT, our sweet at-home exclusive with Amanda Klutz and 3-year-old son Elvis, their new loving tribute to Nick Cordero. Next, DT.
Tonight at 7 on KAPP.
Portion of KAPP sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
All right, let's get you ready for your Thursday. We're going to have a very chilly morning tomorrow, and then we're going to be a little warmer, though, right around the 60-degree mark for the Tri-Cities. Again, could see a little bit of shower activity in the middle of your afternoon to the early evening hours. For Yakima, we're right in those, let's just say upper 50s, make us feel a little bit better. For the Walla Walla region, looking nicer as well. We were right around 50 degrees today, so a little bit warmer. Still well off of what we saw on Monday. Lower 70s for the Blues. They've been much cooler the last couple of days. And for Ellensburg, just slowly getting warmer. We're around 51 today, around 53 tomorrow. So overnight, mostly clear. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. Just again, the opportunity of seeing a little shower or two is very possible.
Thanks for watching. We're back tonight at 11 o'clock.